Good morning. This is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And today, Tristan may look unusually fluffy to you. He has had a bath. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is giving your animals a bath. People are very funny. They're like, oh, I've had my dog 5 years. I've never given him a bath. Should I? Well, how would you feel if you hadn't had a bath for 5 years? I mean, remember, in the Middle Ages, people didn't get baths very often, and we had such great things as the plague and many other diseases. So it's important for your animal's health to give them a bath sometimes. Now, they are protected from the weather and the temperature by their coats. So we don't want to damage the coat by washing them too much, which can happen. So people should give their pets a bath, their dogs, every 4 to 6 weeks, depending on where he's been and what he's got on him. In the summer, like people were asking me how often I give my dog a bath. In the summer, when I'm at the beach, he gets a bath with suds every single day if he has any ocean water on him at all. Otherwise, he gets these little skin lesions that he's just like allergic to the bacteria in the water. I don't know exactly what it is. I'd have to get a scraping and take it under a microscope to find out. But if he gets a bath with suds every day that he's at the beach, he does not get it. And it seems particularly bad around Labor Day. That's when it seems to make the biggest dents in him, because he's a sensitive little redhead, aren't you, Tristan? So in the summer, he gets a lot of baths. I mean, I don't think he goes 2 weeks in the summer without a bath, and many days while we're at the beach, he's getting a bath every day, which is not good for his coat. It removes some of the natural oils from the coat, which protects him from the water, but he has got to have a bath with the suds. So the rest of the year, do I just throw him away at Labor Day and say, no more baths for you, tough luck, buddy? No. He tends to get a bath at least every 6 weeks, all winter long. Now, he's a little guy, and it's pretty easy to wash him because he's had baths his whole life. He got a bath the first 2 hours I had him because we soon discovered he had a little flea outbreak on his tiny body. So he was in the kitchen sink with some dish soap immediately to get those fleas off. So, and it was a great experience. He had no trauma. We had lots of other dogs there to coach him. So he was fine. And he always has been fine with a bath. And that's another important thing. If you really need to wash your dog, you need them to be okay with it in case there's been some kind of an accident and you need to wash them. So I wash him in the bathtub. I do not have one of those add-on hoses to do it with. I fill the tub with water. I use a big pitcher. I dump the clean water on him. I put the suds on him. I suds him up, especially getting the undercarriage on him. This is the area that gets the worst. And I mean, he's had skin problems on his underarms because of dirt there, especially from the beach. So really important to wash the undercarriage of your pet. If I am lucky, I get the tub full enough that it's like over his tummy. But sometimes I don't do that because I want to hurry up and get this done. So make sure it's a little cooler than you think it should be. What feels warm to us can be way too hot for them. And if your pet's had trouble with baths, that can be part of the problem. The temperature is really important. Their body temperature is warmer than ours, but they, submerged with all that fur, get really hot really fast and also really cold. So make sure the temperature is appropriate for your dog. Something would be slightly cool for you is a good temperature for them. And then, I use often the Kin & Kind soap. There's many different versions of the Kin & Kind products that you can get on my sister's website, drjudymorgan.com. And there are 2 or 3 different kinds of shampoo. He gets often used the bergamot one. I also have another pet shampoo that's coconut. And I also use Avalon Organics lavender on him, especially if it's like the summertime and there's any kind of critters in the environment. The oils in that lavender one, they are repellent to critters, but I think by the time you rinse them, there's not that much left. But I will use the lavender in the spring and the fall. And if you think there's any kind of critters on your dog, I mean, obviously we've talked about this before. If you have fleas, you want to leave the soap on them in the tub for like 5 minutes and then rinse them, because that will kill the fleas that are on them. And it also can dissuade the ticks, get them to let go so that you can wash them off. When you've got a thick coated dog like this, sometimes it's hard to find all those things. If you've got like a Chihuahua or a Dachshund, it's a lot easier. And then the important thing is once they're well, first of all, I train mine to shake while they're in the tub, and all my tubs have had sliding doors or something, a shower curtain of some kind that can keep the fur in the shower. Anybody with a Corgi has got their techniques for this, but that's what I do. And then I, of course, have to clean that when I'm done with washing him. And then I have about 4 big towels. Now, this is a 20-pound dog. And hairy, so I dry him and dry him and dry him and dry him in the bathroom with, one towel after the next, because he gets cold if he's sitting in my giant drafty house when he's wet, especially at this time of year. And then he's going to go for a walk. I tend to wash him at 9 in the morning so that when we go for our walk at 2, he's fairly dry, but I will put a coat on him because I know how I feel when my hair is damp. I get really cold, so I put a little coat on him. Oh, Danny says all 3 of her dogs like their baths. And so keep them warm after their bath. And then the same in the summer, it's so nice because you can give them a bath. I often will take him out in the pretty deep grass in the backyard when there's no slithery things out there and throw a stick for him. And that air dries him really well, and he loves the sun, and he'll roll and roll on the lawn, leave a lot of hair out there. So that's another great thing. A lot of people use a blow dryer to kind of blow out some of the loose hair. I've done this in my tiny like stand-up shower thing. It's like 3 by 3 feet. I've put them in there to keep the hair contained so that when I run the water in the shower, I can kind of wash all the hair down from the walls after I've blown them out. It's best to do that outside. I often do it on the deck because I've got a perfect spot to do it out there with a good plug. And that's one more thing I don't have to clean, because after you wash a dog, you got to clean the bathroom, you got to clean the towels, you got to clean yourself. It's a whole thing. So, one less thing you have to do is a good thing. So I make sure he's as dry as I can get him to be. And coincidentally, I seem to always do all the vacuuming before I wash the dog. That's not the way to do it. You should vacuum after you wash the dog. One thing that people forget is once your dog's coat is wet, no matter what kind of coat he has, even a Dachshund, they don't really like to be brushed. Now, a dog like mine, if I use a slicker brush on him, it just gets stuck in the damp hair and rips hair out. It's very painful. It's very upsetting to him. I'm so fortunate because I just got this human hairbrush in an online auction that's sort of like a curry comb. It's got little kind of dull teeth that stick up and go in concentric circles on it, and it says it's a detangler, and it's pretty soft. A curry comb for a horse, there's a metal kind, we don't use that on any animal, and then there's a rubber kind. This is a little stiffer than the rubber ones for the horses. He loves it, and it pulls out a ton of hair, keeps the hair mostly on the brush. So when they're pretty dry, like towards 3 o'clock, if he got his bath at 9, you can brush them a little bit, and it will get some of that loose hair out. And also, he tends to get a little curl up over here on his tail if I don't kind of brush that down. Sometimes it's cute when it sticks up, but so a good brushing the next day is really a good idea after you've given your dog a bath. And Tristan used to work with me at a big nursing home, and it was really important then to give him a lot of baths. He had a bath like once a month, and if I had any patients touching him, I mean, my own patients knew how to be with him, but if I had any patients touching him that I thought had any kind of issues going on, he got a bath that night. Or I use organic baby wipes and wiped him all off everywhere to get whatever was on that person, not on my dog. Doing therapy work with dogs, it can be really dangerous to your dogs. Tristan was not functioning as a therapy dog at that place. He was there to do other things, and so he was not supposed to be petted. And he actually figured that out and really wouldn't let people get up close to him. He would go under my desk and hide if people tried to pet him without talking to me and like making that okay. So, but if your dog's in an environment like that, you really have to clean them. A lot of people will wash them before they go to the nursing home. Fine. I think some dog therapy organizations advocate that, but boy, wash your dog when he comes home, or at least wipe him off with the baby wipes. And when you're doing their bath, make sure you do all kinds of things, like you can put cotton in the ears to make sure you don't get water or soap in the ears. You can wipe out whatever is going on with their eyes. And Tristan had a little pedicure yesterday too. He got a nail trimming, and we trimmed out the fur that grows between the pads. That's really important so that they can get a grip and not slide around on tile and wood floors. So especially with older dogs, that's important because they have trouble with their balance anyway. So giving your dog a bath on a pretty regular basis can really improve their health. The little scrubbing that you do, any kind of rubbing on the outside of the body in this area really stimulates the kidneys. A lot of older animals and cats have trouble with their kidneys, so you really want to stimulate this area with brushing and petting, and it just really invigorates the kidneys and the other organs in your dog's body when you give them a good bath. And the toweling off, I don't know any dogs that don't like the toweling off. They love being rubbed with the towel when they're done. And if you watch wolves when they greet each other in the wild, they kind of slap up against each other with their heads and their shoulders, and the towel is very similar to that. So it makes your dog happy to get a good towel off, right, Biss? And then they smell good and they're snuggly and fluffy, right? Do you mind being snuggly and fluffy? He does not like hugging, I have to say. So give your dog a bath for his health, and if it's hard for you, find a way to do that. I mean, there's plenty of places around here now where you can pay like $10 and bring your dog in and lift him or put him in a place, and they have a hose there and everything, and you're ready to go, and you just use their facility. A lot of the places have blow dryers right there where you wash your dog and you just dry them off. And that's really convenient if you've got like a Labrador and it's a lot of work to wash your dog. But it can be a fun thing. And don't forget about the cats. My sister does wash her cats like once a year. Maybe not as much as she used to. When the kids were home, it was a little easier because the kids thought it was hilarious fun to wash the cats in the shower. But lots of cats love running water, and as long as you don't have them buried up to their stomach and just have the water in there, you can give a pretty good bath to a cat while you're in the shower with him. So for more information on how to do that exactly, you'll have to talk to my sister. I think her techniques have evolved over the years from just throwing the cat in the shower with the kid and saying, wash him and turning the water on, to, you know, encouraging them in, having them trot around, rubbing them a little bit with the water, and just doing it a little more often and a little less vigorously, I think is a good thing for a cat. Of course, she's had these showers that are step-in showers. You don't have to jump over anything, so it's been a little easier to get in there with a kitty. Of course, the kitty can get out easier, but usually they like the running water. So thanks for joining us today for this episode of Conversations with a Corgi. Have fun giving your pet a bath. Good thing to do on a winter day when you're not going to be outside anyway. Right, Tristan? And then they look so pretty and smell fresh. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great day. I'm at my educator job the rest of the week. Next week, I think I'm doing this on Tuesday. I don't know. My schedule's all over the place. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.